Hello everyone, buckle up and welcome to this episode. For today we are joined by the guitarist of the heavy metal band DevilDriver, Mike Spreitzer, who will be speaking about the band's upcoming release, Dealing with Demons Volume 1, which will be out on October 2nd via Napalm Records. He will also speak about the atmosphere in the band, the process behind it, and much more. Also, I would like you to be part of the community and join Metal Pilgrim community on both YouTube and on Instagram to stay tuned with the updates and for more exclusive interviews, first-hand rock and metal news, and much more. Here you go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
All is good. All is good.
Yeah, I literally just adopted a dog about 2 hours ago.
Really?
So I'm trying to keep an eye on her.
Oh, nice. What's her name?
I don't have one yet.
Oh.
Their name at the pound was Coco, but I'm gonna give her a different name than that.
Oh, this is amazing. Congrats, man.
She's just laying in the other room being a good girl, so
Oh,
I think I got a good dog.
That's so sweet. Well, that's why you had to switch the timing, I guess, right?
Exactly. What happened is I found this dog, and the interviews were planned.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, a lot of people want this dog, but you're first in line.
Oh my God.
Right. So if you want her, you have to be at the pound at 9:30 a.m. And if you're not here, that's going to go to the next person.
Yeah, you do it, man.
I don't think I'm going to make it home in time because, it's a good half hour away from my house. And I wanted this dog.
This is amazing. Congrats. How did you find it? I mean, just like a regular abandoned dog, or was it like, you were looking for something specific?
I wanted a pit bull.
Okay. Nice.
I've had a few pit bulls in the past, and they got a bad reputation, but I've had a lot of good luck with them, and I just think they're the sweetest dogs.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so I've been looking, and they had a Facebook page for all the videos, and she came up, and luckily I was one of the first people to inquire about her, because you can't go to the pounds now and just look for a dog. You have to make an appointment.
Oh, right. Because
and they only let you look at 2 dogs at a time for 5 minutes each.
That's crazy.
And I only went one other time before, so this is my second time going, and I found one I liked. So,
that's fun.
10 years from now, I'll probably still have her.
This is great. Yeah, my little kid, I have a daughter. She's 3, and she already starts asking for a dog. I live in a flat, so it's kind of harder, in the city and stuff. And I know that I'm going to be the one walking her, if I do get one. This is great. But are you actually in California right now? You said home. I assume you're back in California.
Yeah.
Right. How is it with the fires?
What's that?
How is it with the fires? We hear a lot of the news, here across the ocean.
Luckily, my area is not affected by the fires, other than there's smoke in the air that I can smell, and there's ash on my car.
Oh shit!
Almost every day, but I don't live in an area where I have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did have an earthquake a couple days ago that surprised the hell out of me. I haven't felt an earthquake here in years.
Oh my God! But it is 2020, man. So you don't get surprised by anything anymore. So
me and my girlfriend were like laying in bed together because it happened at night. We were watching a movie, and I was just like, "Really? How big is this gonna be? Because if we have a big earthquake now, and amidst everything else, I'm gonna be like, okay, the world is probably coming to an end soon."
No, hopefully not. Praying the not, man. But talking about the other events of 2020, the upcoming album, Dealing with the Demons Volume 1 by DevilDriver will be released on October 2nd this year. This is definitely good news. And from what I could hear, the lyric wise and just in general, because of the feeling and everything, it's been released very much on time, with all the events that are going on. Could you talk a bit about the, creative process behind it, and how much did the world events actually shape the lyrics and the music of this album?
Well, a lot of people think that, like, the song "Keep Away From Me," the video was tied into the events going on right now with coronavirus, but
clearly
the whole album was recorded, mixed, and mastered long before coronavirus hit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just we were going to release "Keep Away From Me" first, and so the fact that we had a song called "Keep Away From Me" that we wanted to release as the first single off these records was just a coincidence.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
When it came time to do the video, Des obviously had the idea, along with our director, to use the current events to.
She's so sweet. Sorry, man. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she is a really good dog.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
And it looks like she's already tied to you. I mean, she has this connection to you already. And you've known her for 2 hours.
Well, that's how you know. You just know when you get a dog.
That's true.
And I've had a lot of dogs. It's like, I'm like, yep, this is it. Great. Making her popular right now too.
Yeah, you are.
So, yeah, as far as the creative process goes, it always starts with me, Neil, and Austin coming up with our own ideas. Our drummer writes guitar licks as well, and quite talented guitar player. And Neil and I will record our ideas because we both have studios at our house, and throw them in a Dropbox so me, Neil, and Austin can listen to them. We don't send them to Des yet. I don't send songs to Des until all three of us are in agreement that they're the way that we want. Okay. And because I don't want to send Des songs that we're going to be like, he might write something to, and then we go and change it.
That's true.
That's got to be incredibly frustrating for a singer.
Yeah.
So then we'll usually come here in my studio, and we'll work on my song one day. And I'll usually tell the guys that I want to work on. And Neil had a lot more material written for this record before I started a lot sooner than I did. So he had somewhere between 10 and 20 songs already ready to go by the time that we were starting to write. But Neil his are more rough drafts. I don't do many rough drafts. I'll sit with a song for like at least 3 days, sometimes up to a week, and make changes to it until I show the other guys. And it's just the way I do things. But if it's a Neil day to work on a song, I'll go through and listen to all of his songs and just kind of pick out which ones I want to work on first. And then we'll do the same thing with Austin. Well, I'll have them critique my songs for me, and then once they're done, we'll go give them to Des. He doesn't like to have start writing lyrics until he has all the songs, or at least most of them. And then one thing that we did different on this record that this band has never done is actually rent out a studio and do pre-production with our producer. Usually from doing basically pre-production recording at my studio, and then go and re-record everything for the final with our producer. But this time, Steve was adamant about being like, no, we're getting in a room, you, me, Neil, and Austin, and we're going to spend 2 weeks cutting the fat from these songs.
Sure, that's cool. Yeah.
Doing whatever we need to do. And, we sped things up, we slowed things down. Some of the songs we ended up doing in drop A on a baritone guitar or a 7-string that we didn't do in the demo process. And after we were done with the 2 weeks there, we went into Steve's studio, did drums, did guitars, did bass, and then I think like 6 months later they started vocals after that. So for me, this record is ancient almost. Like it's been done so long, I can't believe it doesn't feel like it's a new record anymore. You know,
I just heard it 2 days ago, so for me it's still very fresh.
for almost 2 years.
2 years, you said?
Well, yeah, we started writing for this in like actually, I wrote it down recently. Let's see. I started writing for this album in 2017. We started doing demos in February 2018.
Oh, shit.
Pre-production was June of 2018, and then July of 2018 we started recording it, the instrumentals, and then Des didn't start vocals until early 2019.
Wow. So it is an ancient record for you.
It is.
Well, it's pretty cool. But you mentioned actually about the tempos, right? About how you would speed things up, slow things down. I personally felt like this album is a bit slower than what, some fans of DevilDriver could have, expected at least. Yet kind of this tempo almost makes it heavier in a way, How did you guys come up with this sound? Was it like a natural continuation of, your previous work, or it just happened to be so you were in a mood?
That was the one and only thing that Neil and I got together. We were on tour, we were on the bus, and we started discussing ideas for the record and what we wanted to do differently. And I had some of my own ideas that I wanted to do with my own writing, but Neil suggested, it's his idea. It's like, I wanted to slow things down on this. And you're right. Sometimes I think slower can sound heavier rather than it being a million miles per hour. And I thought that was as simple and as that sounds. And I kind of debated in myself when I wanted to tell journalists that we wanted to slow things down because it sounds bad. I could just like the blabbermouth headline, like new DevilDriver is slow or something, something stupid like that. And it's not the case,
No,
like,
it's not slow. It's just,
the tempos are hovering under 150 on this record compared to, for some reason in the past, my comfort zone is usually like around 170 to 185. Like, I write a lot of songs in those tempos. But toward the end, like if I'm going to write 2 or 3 more songs for a record, before I do that, I'll actually have a list printed out with all the songs, with the tunings and the tempos, and even what key it's in. And I'll be like, okay, we got a lot of songs in this key and this tempo, so I'm going to write one that's going to help the record seem a little less monotonous. Gives variety.
Yeah.
So there are fast songs on the record, but in general, let's slow things down a little bit, see how it goes.
That's pretty cool. And about the variety overall, I do agree, right? I mean, in almost 20 years of DevilDriver, history, you guys obviously released a variety of different records, and the sound has obviously, kind of changed and evolved with time, right? And despite this album being, I gotta say, very coherent, right? But there's no one song that really characterizes the album, right, or its sound. The songs are quite different from each other, right? I mean, you get this variety of tempo and the general feel in a way. And but I almost kind of felt like there is a reflection in a way of different stages of DevilDriver career during these 20 years. Could you say that this record kind of reflects what you have been doing so far and kind of brings it all together in one album?
I think having 3 different people playing guitar and writing riffs, definitely, that's going to help variety. I've tried really hard over the past few years to get out of the way I used to write songs and do things differently. And now, I was going through some old songs that I didn't use on previous DevilDriver records that might have some salvageable riffs in them. And I was kind of caught off guard, It's like, man, I just don't write music like that anymore. Like I think 10 years ago, it's completely changed. And so that gives it a lot of variety. And as far as, you know, we use different amps and different tones for guitar on every song on this record. So that alone is gonna, whether you know it or not, you know, the guitar tones are, you know, a little bit different from every song, and you know, that's gonna break up the monotony as well and give you more of a variety. And I'm glad we did it that way, considering it's a double record, because I didn't want to release a double record with like the same guitar tone on every song. Yeah. I think it was really important for us to mix things up a bit, and that's something else that we've never done before with the band.
Yeah, and you know, speaking about the double record, right? I mean, first of all, why did you decide to split it into a double record and not just release two different albums? And this is question number one. And question number two is, how will the second part be different from the first one, or it's going to be in pretty much the same, you know, genre and got the same feel?
It's going to have a similar feel. All the songs were written and recorded at the same time, and we didn't go in with the mentality of these songs that we're going to record are going to be for the first volume, and then this is going to be for a second. You know, if that were the case, I don't think we would call them both Dealing with Demons. You know, they would be different records.
Albums, yeah.
But once everything was recorded, that's when we decided, you know, these songs are going to go on volume 1, these songs are going to go on volume 2. There was a brief discussion about possibly releasing 4 EPs, but in the long run, we decided just to do a double record and stagger the releases.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. And talking about the first volume, the next question is going to be like choosing a a favorite kid. I don't know if you have children, but the answer is impossible, right? But do you have a favorite song from this album?
I want to say "Keep Away From Me" has always been my favorite. That's it's a really dark song that was written during a pretty dark period of my life, and going back and listening to just the music of it, I think it describes the mood I was in at the time. Things are a lot better now, even with a pandemic. You know,
that's good.
Things
good to
in
hear.
my life are pretty damn good right now. You know, I'm happy, healthy, and
got a new dog.
Got a new dog.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, things are good, but you know, sometimes I like being in those moods. I mean, I don't like being in the moods, but I definitely get some of my best music written when you go through periods like that. And "Keep Away From Me" was kind of like the cornerstone of that whole period for me.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I have to agree with you. I've listened to the album in its entirety, and "Keep Away From Me" is probably my favorite song as well. Although there are a lot of cool tracks on the album as well. And do you think you will be able to still go on tour in support of this album? I mean,
I hope so. Man, I've been hearing a lot of bad statistics lately about the current state of the entertainment industry in general. And I did an interview yesterday, and I hope this isn't true, but the journalist was telling me that he heard people are predicting that about a third of the entertainment industry and the people in it are going to be forced to walk away from their jobs.
That's crazy.
And trying to be an artist. And I also heard a statistic that over half of the music venues are probably going to have to close because they're just not going to be able to afford to stay open. Now, I think that there is going to be such a supply of shows once this thing is all over, because every band is going to want to go out on tour.
Absolutely, yeah.
Much sooner than later. So I think there's going to be a lot. Hoping that other venues are going to be bought by other people. You know, I'm sure some investors are going to see the light at the end of the tunnel and invest in music in general.
Yeah.
And hopefully. And the fact that metalheads are so dedicated to the music more than other people in other genres, I think the metal industry might recover a little bit faster than other genres. I could be totally wrong, but that's just a guess.
This is an interesting thought, actually. I got to tell you, for me, you know, rock and metal overall is it's very much of a live show experience. I mean, I cannot truly enjoy the band unless I see them live, you know, at least once.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's even more important for metal than other genres. So, that's one thing that's working against us is I think we, even as artists, you don't want to just be doing shows without, the crowd there right in front of you. It's
drive-in shows or, online shows. Yeah, it's not the same.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
But, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely. I mean, just hopefully this is not the new reality we all have to adapt to indefinitely. But and this is going, to fade away soon. I mean, we'll see. Let's just pray it out. But having some time, I assume to spend at home and with the family and maybe with the band as well. What are you and and now that I know that the album has been written in reality, way back and not in 2020, what else are you guys up to? I mean, you personally, for example, I mean, how do you, spend your time and what keeps you sane these days?
I surf as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. I guess living in California helped that.
I do a lot of surfing, and that's, my number one hobby. Has been for a long time. I love being in the ocean. And I'm still producing, and I'm going to be producing another Wednesday 13 record in January, I believe.
Okay.
And currently mixing a band called Tortured Saint out of Toronto.
Never heard of them.
I have, and I just finished up with another local LA band. I've got another band that I'm going to be recording vocals and mixing soon. So it's, I've had so many people approach me about jobs. This is the first time in my life I've had to turn some down because I don't have time.
Wow, looks like you're very busy.
Yeah, I'm very busy, and I was very hesitant to get a dog because of it. But I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get a dog, I got to get one now. And I know I'm probably gonna be a little bit more stressed out because of it for the first month, but
you're not hitting the road for sure. I mean, for the next month or two, and you have time to get used to it, and so it's definitely a good time for you.
Yeah. And she will be a studio dog. Other dogs they'll usually just chill back there and hang out with me, and it's nice to have a studio dog.
That's pretty cool, man. I'm conscious of your time. Just a couple of more questions, and that's it, man. Any new bands that you can point out? Anyone whom you've been listening to lately and kind of enjoy?
God, new bands. That's a hard one. There's not many new bands that I actually. Oh, Three Teeth. They're pretty new. Industrial band from LA.
Yep.
Industrial is my favorite genre of music.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's not that many really good industrial bands out there. I really, really like Three Teeth. And, not new, but the new Manson record is absolutely incredible.
It is. It is a strong one.
I was blown away because I'm a massive Marilyn Manson fan. And I wouldn't say he's been releasing bad records, but nothing as good as his early material. And I would say this is the best record he's released since Hollywood. I really like it. I like every single song on it. I mean, it's Shooter Jennings produced it, and it's absolutely incredible. So for the most part, that's what I've been listening to is the new Manson record. But if I had to pick one new band that I really like, Three Teeth.
Right.
I really like them a lot. Everyone should check them out. I think even a lot of people that aren't into industrial and like heavy metal definitely like them.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thanks for the intro. All right, the last question, and this is something I usually do, at the very end of the interviews. But you gotta tell me one crazy ass story from your touring life, and one show that got stuck in your head, or one memory that you cherish, or just anything that you think is will either give someone a love or a tear.
Well, there was this in 2004. This is a good one. this is only the second half of the story because the first half of the story is so long. But we were heading to Ozfest in LA, and it was going to be our first time playing Ozfest in LA.
Yeah.
You know, and the first time DevilDriver was on Ozfest. It was my first U.S. tour with the band too. And we were running really late. And it was the biggest show of the whole tour. And I wake up, and we're just flying down the highway, probably doing 80, 85 miles per hour in a tour bus with a trailer behind us. And I wake up and I see our bus driver laid out in the front lounge on the couch sleeping. So you can imagine what went through my head. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I go up there, I just see our tour manager, Eddie, just driving the bus, and he goes, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. And I'm like, you know how to drive a bus? He's like, yeah, I got a commercial license. I'm like, okay, I'm glad. And we were already going to miss our time slot, but the crew at Ozfest really wanted to work with us. So we got there. Our trailer was on fire because the axles or the bearings had burned out.
Wow.
So they were just smoking, and people were like, your trailer looks like it's on fire. We're like, we know, we don't care. Just let us through. And they're leaving us through. And there was a band on Ozfest that year called Throwdown. And they were set up to go next. So they let us use their gear, and we played 3 songs, and that was it.
Wow.
And there's a whole backstory to this. Our bus had broken down. We went through, I think, 4 different buses on that tour. And we missed the Ozfest in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so we had already missed one show, and we're like, dude, we can't miss LA. That's like our hometown show.
Yeah, exactly. And it's Ozfest. I mean, you don't want to miss Ozfest. Yeah.
Our set was only 20, 25 minutes anyway, so I think we usually played 5 or 6 songs. Yeah. So, technically we played half to most of our set anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty cool story, man. I wonder what happened to the other 3 buses.
AC going out, breaking down. One driver, we had a nickname for him called Rumble Strip Terry because we'd be sleeping and it'd be rumble strip, until there was a point like none of us were sleeping because every time you hear the rumble strip and you're in your bunk, you're like a cat, just freaking out, and like ripping the sides, like what's gonna happen?
Oh, shit.
And after like the first week of that tour, we were just like, yeah, we gotta get a new bus driver.
Yeah.
I think we fired 4 bus drivers. We fired one of our tour managers. And we also fired one of our techs on that tour, too. It was an interesting tour.
Wow. This is a crazy tour.
I think we sent 6 people home on that tour.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Well, thanks for sharing that, man. All right. Again, conscious of your time. So any last message for the fans? Anything you want to share with them?
Well, we got a lot of music coming out. There's 9 songs on volume 1, 8 songs going to be on volume 2. Don't have a release date for that yet. There's going to be 3 songs left over that won't be on the records. I don't know what the plan is with those 3 songs, but they'll be coming out eventually. We got a lot of material coming out for you guys in over the next few years, and we're going to get back to touring as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Dealing with Demons Volume 1 being released on October 2nd. Make sure you check it out, guys. Mike, thanks a lot for your time, man. Congrats on the dog anyway. Please do let me know how you name her. She's gorgeous and she's very cute.
I'm going to come up with a name. I'm not going to post her on Instagram until I come up with a name. So.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe Stella or something.
Around, but
yeah.
Something.
I had a friend with a similar dog and her name was Stella. Just throwing it out there. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time, man.
All right. Thank you so much.